Thank you, Mr. President. And I would like to thank my colleague from Iowa for organizing the discussion on the Green New Deal resolution. The public doesn't really pay a whole lot of attention to non-binding resolutions here in Congress, but that's not the case with this one. The sponsors of the new Green Deal in the House and the Senate certainly deserve recognition for the profile they've managed to create so quickly. But of course, that's a double-edged sword, because now people are beginning to pay attention to what's actually in the Green New Deal. Leader McConnell has proposed bringing the resolution to the floor, which has created, in my view, sort of a baffling response. The plan's sponsors are claiming that a vote is, quote, cynical, meant to, quote, disrupt their, quote, movement. Mr. President, you and I both know that every member of this body would clamor to have their bills brought up for floor consideration. But you know what? Most of us here live in the land of realistic and practical solutions. The Green New Deal is very vague. It does include enough detail to know that it proposes radical solutions that, in my view, are neither practical nor realistic. It's a wish list dressed up as environmental policy. Now, we knew it was going to be expensive. We knew the goal was to eliminate coal and gas industries, along with a lot of other good-paying jobs that are supported in energy states like mine. And this isn't the first salvo on the war on coal, for sure. We knew all the economic harm that would be proposing, but this is a massive shift, a shift to the left that goes far beyond anything the Democrats have proposed before. This plan doesn't stop at eliminating the use of coal and natural gas for electricity. The plan also ends nuclear electricity and severely curtails the commercial air industry. The environmental and energy components of this proposal are estimated to cost to $8.3 to $12.3 trillion over the next decade, which averages out to about $52,000 to $71,000 for every American household. And we'll be left with possibly an energy grid that lacks affordability and reliability to make the American manufacturers competitive around the globe and meet the basic needs of our families. Right now, coal, natural gas, and nuclear energy account for 83% of all the electricity produced in the United States. It's neither practical nor realistic to believe that we could phase all of that out, capacity out, without some catastrophic consequences. But unbelievably, this is just one piece of the Green New Deal. The sticker shock combines with tens of trillions of dollars to fund guaranteed jobs for people unwilling to work, eliminate private health care for 170 Americans in favor of a government-run system, replace or retrofit all housing stock for environmental compliance and guaranteeing it to every American, and putting food on everyone's table. Altogether, possibly $93 trillion over a 10-year period of time. Well, we could liquidate all the wealth in the entire country and maybe just cover that tab, but we wouldn't have anything left. The Green New Deal sponsors claim the government will be making investments. They claim that the returns will pay for everything and make a profit for the people. Realistic? Practical? I think not. And if it fails, then what do we do? Some say the Green New Deal, even if it's a disaster of a policy that would destroy our economy, at least the Congress is finally talking about climate change. And this is what we've heard. Heard my colleague, we serve on the EPW committee together, which is a huge disservice, I think, to us, because we've been working in a bipartisan fashion to deliver real solutions since before anyone had ever heard of the Green New Deal. In the EPW committee, senators from coal states, such as Senator Barrasso, who's here from Wyoming, and Senator Whitehouse from Rhode Island, and Senator Carper and myself, we've been working for market-driven solutions to the challenge of atmospheric CO2. Members of both parties have worked and will continue to work on these important policies to meaningfully address carbon challenges while also protecting and creating jobs. We do not need a $93 trillion turn that fundamentally alters the foundations of our country. We're capable of making investments in technology and infrastructure to address our nation's challenges in a common sense and bipartisan way. But the Green New Deal is not practical, it is not realistic, and it's a bit scary that so many Democrats are embracing it. The American people deserve to know where each of us stands on this policy. That's why we're going to have a vote. I'm glad that we'll have the opportunity to take a vote on this resolution in the coming months, and I hope that all of my colleagues will join me in opposing this utterly unfathomable and unworkable resolution. I yield the floor.